Got my sunglasses. All right, get dirty. Super dirty. Ring my bell. Ow. Last 6 more weeks because it's 6 more weeks of winter. So I just figured I'd replace that with 6 more weeks of trucking. Because it just keeps going and going and going. Get hot in here. Get hot. It's getting hot in here, y'all. Gotta wash my sunglasses off. Ow! Man, I'm getting all kinds of beat up. Shades are dirty. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. What's up, Bathy? Ray? Hey, guess what? I hit 500 subs, Hunter. Well, good job. Well done, Ray. Well done. All right, I think I'm about ready to pull out of here. Might as well sit here 5 more minutes, take our 30-minute break. What do you say? That metal that I welded fell on my leg. Is your leg okay? Well, you're alive, so that's a good thing. Well, I mean, how'd that happen, Ray? Off the dash. Y'all ready for 6 more weeks of winter? I heard this morning the groundhog saw a shadow. I didn't see it personally. I just got wind of it. It was not broken. You couldn't tell it wasn't broken? I mean, if you had a broken leg, you'd know it, son. May have been bruised up and beat up. I know one thing, my hands are hurting. Are you kidding me? The ice. There There we go. I had an x-ray of my leg, was bruising. It was a big knot on my leg. A big knot on your leg. All right. Well, that's definitely better than it being broken. Count your blessings, my friend. Count your blessings. Because, I mean, if you had a broken leg, buddy, you'd be down for about 3 months, I believe. I don't know why his cat parked right in the way. He probably won't be there long. We'll just pull out and he'll see us. Well, you done the right thing, Ray, by going to the doctor and still having an x-ray done. Hopefully they didn't shoot you too full of radioactivity. My son walked around on a broken leg for 2 weeks after a bull stepped on him after coming off. Good news was he won the rodeo. Awesome, Sharon. That is awesome. Yeah, those bull riders, they're tough, man. They're tough. I've always wanted to do it myself, and I just never have. And, you know, because in Tennessee, in the mountains, we don't ride bulls. But I've never had the honor to ride a bull. And also, I might be getting about too old for it. I don't know. I think I could still take it. I think I could. I mean, I got a question. Would any of y'all rather ride a bull or go skydiving? If you had to pick one, which one would it be? Ride a bull or skydive? I've been playing like 20 shorts this weekend. Gained over 80 subs. All right. I did 20 shorts. I made 20 shorts. All right. Yeah, shorts is a good way to get your 50 subs so you can do your lives. I remember when I started YouTube, I was like, you know what? I was trucking. I was like, I'm gonna go live on YouTube. Check this out. So I proceeded to go live on YouTube, and then it had alerted me that you can't go live. You got to have at least 50 subs. So I was like, oh man. So that was the day I decided, all right, I'll figure out how to do this, get 50 subs. So I had made some shorts videos, and apparently making shorts is bad for your YouTube channel. But YouTube just announced beginning of the year that they're prioritizing shorts. And I've seen a lot of people's opinions on that, and their opinions is like, well, if I want to watch shorts, I'll just go to TikTok. I come to YouTube to watch long form videos. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense, you know. It makes sense. Ray said skydiving. I think I'd rather ride a bull. I was going to go skydiving once. It's been it's been 11, 12 years ago. But I got busy, and then life just forgot about it. I'm going live at prom March 28th on a Saturday, and I'm going to get engaged there too. Live stream it. I'm going to get engaged on prom, man. That's wild. Hey, Toe Baby. Toe Baby, would you rather ride a bull or go skydiving? Where's my thing at? How do I super chats? No, that's not what I want to see. How do I make the where's the polls at? How can I do the polls again? Man, I hope I don't mess this up. Lighting, stickers, effects, mute, flip, green screen. Yeah, I took that green screen on once on a live, but I never could get it off. I had to end the live. I didn't know how to do it. I need to make myself more familiar with this tech stuff. And I'm a millennial. You would think I would know more than, you know, the older generations, but I think I know less. I'm not very tech savvy. There it is. Add a Q&A sticker. Is that it? Try it, baby. Ride a bull or skydive? Well, how do I? Well, I guess it doesn't allow me to make the answers no more. Put that up here in the corner, maybe. Okay, I can't. There we go. Is that? We'll leave that up there for a minute. See if people answer it. I'm curious. I've done skydiving. It's cool, but believe it or not, jumping out of a good plane and free falling does seem safer. Those bulls are like a judge. Better hope they're in a good mood. Yeah, I would agree with you, Griswold. Absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head with that one. Toe Baby says bull. Okay. At least if I fall from that, I ain't dead yet. Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility of it, though. Just don't land directly on your head, I guess, and hopefully you can take the fall and get up and run real fast. Dodge and weave, you know. Or you can float like a butterfly and sting like a bee with that bull. No, don't listen to that. Don't try it. Race car. Be safe, driver. Thanks, Griswold. You have a wonderful day, brother. We're about to take off. Oh, we're taking off right now. I sat here a little bit too long. Let's go trucking. Graham Sylvester said skydive. All right. So I got a follow-up question. If y'all answer that, can you give me a brief answer to why you chose riding a bull or skydiving? What's your reasoning on your answer? Let's get out of here. 6 more weeks of winter. 6 more weeks of trucking in the winter. Oh man, my water bottle's lid ain't on. Goodness gracious. I already did that. I'm one step ahead. All right, Toe Baby, on it. I wouldn't go across scale, but ain't nothing coming in, so. Thank you for what you do. Absolutely, Griswold. Thank you very much for recognizing. I appreciate you. I really do. Hope you have a wonderful day, and don't let anything get you down. And if it does, you're always welcome to come back here. We'll cheer you up, my friend. You can come here, vent. We're here for each other, you know. Gotta be here for your fellow peoples. Because we float like a butterfly and we sting like a bee. I'm headed out to Kansas, Toe Baby. Oh, I had my brake brakes on. That wasn't good. Heading out to Kansas. So I left my long charger at the house, and I don't really want to spend $30 on a charger. So what I'm at, oh goodness gracious. Glad that didn't bust. My gosh. My goodness, let's put that right there. Wow. All right. We headed to Kansas, Toe Baby. Man, it was cold this morning. And I left my microphone at the house. Oh, I missed the gear. Like it's this week's started off kind of bad. about to head to Kansas? That's where I'm heading. I'll be there probably about 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight. I probably should have looked into the long chargers at that truck stop back there when I got fuel, because the charger I got doesn't reach. So you know how we usually do, we'll do 1 or 2 lives a day. You know, we'll do one in the morning for an hour or 2, 3 hours, depends how well it's going, and then we'll do one in the afternoon. And but I guess we'll have to, instead of doing 1, we'll have to do 2, because my charger doesn't reach my battery unless I stop again and buy one. I don't plan on doing that till I get to Missouri. Probably in Booneville, Missouri. I like going there. I like that pilot there. It's like the last time I was there, they had pumps down or something. I don't remember. I'm not trying to fall in BS. At least skydiving, I have. Gotcha, Griswold. At least skydiving, I have time to say my prayers before I'm bumped off and poop. But that is reasonable, Griswold, but I really appreciate you giving a little bit of a more detailed answer. But I understand the first your first sentence there. But I really appreciate you, Griswold. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense to me. Cameron Johnston, KC. Is that Kansas City? Yeah, KC stands for Kansas City, because that's where I'm headed. I have done both. Rather skydive. Hello from Kansas City, Missouri. Hey Cameron, you've done both. That's awesome. I honestly haven't done either one. So I'm confused if which one I should do. I've always wanted to ride a bull, because I think, you know, I don't like. We all know this that's been here a while, but I think I'm tough, and I think I'm tough enough to ride a bull. And I'm kind of like Griswold. I don't really kind of see the point in really skydiving, jumping out of a perfectly good plane to your possible demise. Which, I mean, both is probably about equal. Bull riding might be a little bit unsafer. You know, that's just assuming your chute opens and you have no problems. You'll never get on a bull again. Okay. Maybe you might be able to convince me not to do so myself. So what was your experience? Why you say that? Maybe you don't need to answer that. They might be self-explanatory. We can only assume. Clavicle, did I say it right? Oh, your pelvis and right arm. Oh, wow. I am sorry to hear that, bro. I mean, that might be convincing enough for me not to do it. But I just feel confident that I can ride the bull for 8 seconds. I just feel like it. I don't know. I could be wrong. I might get on and get bucked right off. Who knows? Yeah, I don't think I would appreciate having a broken arm and all that. So, okay, I think maybe I'd rather go skydiving. Skydive for sure, says Crawl. Okay, skydiving. Okay, seems like everybody is saying skydiving. LMAO, says Cameron. All right, yeah, I couldn't afford to have any broken bones, you know, so if I could help it. So why would I intentionally take a chance on just messing myself up like, you know, they'd be like, Hunter, what'd you, and I'd say I was being irresponsible because I think I'm 21 again, and I got on this big old bull they call the Buckmaster. He bucked me and broke my arm and my leg. I can't work. Come on, dumb bucket, what are you doing? He's doing speed limit, so okay, never mind. My bad. My apologies, bucket truck. My apologies. If you want to ride a bull, I will drunk text my ex or watch Urban Cowboy. All right. Okay, y'all seem to know more about it than I do, so you just see those bull riders do it, and they like they just get real up something. They look like they're having so much fun. I don't know. Talking to you on my other account. Okay, thanks, Ray. I appreciate you, brother. Wife was a barrel racer in the rodeo. She says, want to ride a bull? Question mark. Go for it. Yeah, okay. I'll ride a calf. Riding a calf is the equivalent of riding a bull, so there we go. Come here, calf. I'm gonna jump on your back. I remember when I was a kid, man, there was a horse pasture on the land next to ours back in the day. It's back in the early 90s, mid 90s. And me and my brothers went over that fence. And we was climbing up on the fence. And my oldest brother was about to jump on that horse's back, and we got caught. Somebody caught us and started yelling. You know, we was young, we didn't think about none of that, you know. We were young, wild, and free. But luckily, nobody got on the horse's back. I was 22 at the time. I'm 58 now. Never did it again. Into the contest and made it 6 seconds. Oh, you entered the contest? So that was your first and last time, Cameron? If that was your first and last time, that's pretty impressive. 6 seconds. You was 22. Yeah, I can see you doing it. At 22, I can see myself doing it at 22 more than I can now, you know. I mean, 22 seems like yesterday, but it was a long time ago. There's your like button. Oh, you smashed the like button, Chrome? Thanks, brother. Thank you. Get on a steer. They will wrangle you around. Shucks, I thought I was cool back in the day too, but drunk and cow tipping. I can relate, Griswold. We do the same old stuff. Get drunk, go out there and cow tipping. A lot of times cow wake up though. Go crazy. Thinking it's getting attacked by wolves or something. That's right on, man. Wow, all right. Okay, James said bull. All right, James. Okay, James, can you give us a brief comment about like why you chose bull instead of skydiving? Now, you don't have to, you know, but where did time go, Cameron Johnson? Buddy, I ask myself that about every day. Like, seriously. Because, I mean, my 20s seemed like, at the time, it seemed like it was going by slow, but like simultaneously it was going by fast. And now, since my 20s are long gone, it just seems like now since I hit 30, when I hit 30, it seems like my 30s flew by. And the thing about it is in my 30s, I'm sober more than I was in my 20s. I'm way more settled down. I have a family now, and it seems like my 30s are flying by. And my 20s went by a lot slower, and I was intoxicated a lot. You know, but who wasn't in their 20s, you know? Especially men, you know? Sticking said bull. Hey, Raymond Wood. Well, if you was close to the farmer's daughter, she would lend you a helping hand. I wasn't close with the farmer's daughter. I think the reason being is because we's out there in the backer patch working our tails off, and she would come and from the house, and she'd drop down to the backer patch and she'd have us sandwiches. She'd make some good sandwiches and bring to us, but she was very attractive, and so like nobody really dared to, like, I guess because everybody thought, like, you know, she's too pretty for any of us. So I do not believe anybody ever tried. But she was very pretty. And her dad was this big farmer dude. He was like, shoot, man, he was like 6'7", about 320 pounds, big dude. Griswold said, "Gunner, I like your style, brother." I appreciate that, brother. I'm glad you do. I like y'all's style, man. Everybody do jump in the comments. We're having some good conversations here. Sticky, why'd you say bull instead of skydiving? Is it just a fear of heights, or do you think it'd be more exciting to ride a bull? Or you just don't like the idea of jumping out of a perfectly good airplane? Tex said bull. I knew Tex jump in here and say bull. Oh, okay, I missed your comment earlier. Good morning, I hate dump trucks. James hates dump trucks. Good morning, James. I don't like dump trucks either. Yeah, guys, I'm 30, how old am I? I think I just turned 37 back in October. 36 or 37, I think it's 37, I don't remember now. But yeah, I'm working on 38, I do believe. 38 come October. I don't feel it though, you know what I mean? I don't feel it. I still feel 25, like all the time. I do think I get wore out a little bit easier than I did in my 20s. I could be wrong. Seems like in my 20s I could go 24/7. I can still go 24/7. It just feels different, you know what I mean? I'm going to have to say skydiving because I'm a Taurus. Well, that makes sense. Okay, I can see the sense in that. Back on to the dash, it's getting foggy, y'all can see it. I'm a Libra. Oh shoot, the 6'7" farmer with double OT. Oh, I can take the bull. Take the bull, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you definitely have to take the bull. I think though, if you could ride the bull, that farmer would let you have his daughter. He'd say, "Gunner, that was brave, although you only lasted a 1/10 of a second. You didn't even make it out of the gate. You jumped off its back." Thought he'd get a laugh. Yeah, game changer. Yeah, we like to laugh. We like to have fun, man. Yeah, he was a big farmer. Cool dude. I think he's a cancer survivor now, too. I guess messing with that insecticides or herbicides, whatever it was he used on those backer plants. I mean, this man can grow some backer now. I mean, big old stalks of backer, like 8 foot tall. I'm like, calm down, man. I go to backer patch. Some of them you look at them like, oh, this will be easy. This ain't gonna be too bad. And then you go to another one, you be like, backer be 7, 8 foot tall. You know, it stalks like freaking 6 inches in diameter. I'm like, my gosh. Freaking weigh 100 pounds a plant, you know. Exaggerating a little bit, obviously, but yeah, kudos to him, absolutely. Yeah, he's a good man, he is. I ain't seen him in a long time, though. They're in Greene County. I'm 44 and still think I'm 21. Yeah, it doesn't compute, yeah. Okay, so, okay, I'm glad you said that, Griswold. I was thinking that. I was like, man, does this wild stuff ever, like, go away? When I was younger, I asked somebody, I was about 26, 27, I was like, hey, old timer, does this wildness, you know, like, ever, like, go away? Because I'm wondering. He said, no. Not the answer I was looking for. But he said, no, you just learn how to contain it better. I said, well, hell, that's not what I was looking for, but I guess it'll have to do, won't it? So, then after some years went by, I kind of understood what he said. I was like, okay, I get it, yeah. You do learn to control it a little better. Kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me, driver? He is spot on. You pick your battles. Yeah, that you know, I heard, you know, we've all heard that statement throughout our entire lives, but I didn't really quite understand it until I was probably in my late 20s. I started to understand that better, and you know, now I totally get it. You pick and choose your battles, for sure. Sometimes you pick them at the wrong time. I'm gonna crack the window, y'all, so I hope the wind don't bother you. It's getting hot in here. RC said skydive. Cheddar Cheese said drink a bowl. I am drinking a bowl. I am. I actually bought another one. Look at that. Because they say Red Bull gives you wings. Disclaimer, it does not give you wings. Red Bull already got sued over that. And, you know, somebody sued Red Bull because, you know, their ads say, my wife's calling. back. My wife called. Sorry about that. When you get a phone call, it'll mute the live. So, but that's why we have birthday missions. Mission accomplished. Oh yeah, absolutely, Griswold. Absolutely, Gris. The question is on your deathbed. Will you be happy with the life you lived? If I was on my deathbed, just trying to imagine it, I think I'd be happy with the life I've lived thus far. You know, which although I would recognize that it could have been better, which it can always be better, you got to be content with what you have. Just be thankful for it. Troy said skydive. All right. If anybody answers the questions, can you give a brief, as brief comment as you can on why you choosing skydive or ride a bull, so I can kind of get your point of view of why you're choosing whichever one. Kind of have a better understanding, you know. You can pick your brain. Got a game called American Truck Simulator. Yeah, hey Justin, there's a lot of people that jump on the live, man, that say that they play it and they tell me I should play it too. And they say the same thing. It's pretty cool. They like it as well. Is that like for, I don't know if Justin's still here, but is that like for a computer or like a PS5 or what? I don't know if I can play a truck simulation game, simply because I drive trucks for a living. And I don't love it enough to go home and play it on a game, you know what I'm saying? But I would like to try it out though. Already ridden a bull. How many times you rode a bull, Troy? Just curious. I'm happy, thank the Lord. I've had some good and bad experiences. Oh yeah, Tex, that's the majority of us. I'd like to meet somebody that's never had any bad experiences, you know, or like very minor, like spilled milk, just to like kind of pick their brain a little bit. I like layman's terms, simple, and to the point. Just once, greatest half second of my life. That's awesome, Troy. That's awesome. I think it was Griswold. Was it Griswold? He lasted 6 seconds, or was that? I can't remember that. Mark said skydive. Sam said ride a bull. RC said skydive. Cheddar Cheese said drink a bull. I don't know if I'd drink a bull. It sounds kind of funky. Think you like them, Tex? Drinking a bull? I don't think so either. Oh yeah, you gotta put some pep in your step. You know, you gotta have that motivation, that self-motivation that you find within. And then you spread that message, your joy and your motivation to everybody else. Because it's Monday and nobody ever woke up and said, oh, I love it, it's Monday. I'm just so excited to go back to work for the next 40 years. Beautiful. But, you know, you gotta have fun while you're doing it, so why not? Bills ain't gonna pay themselves. We gotta get up and go get it, my friends. I debate whether I should ride a bull. simply because like I'm getting old, but I'm not old yet. Tex has been homeless. I've been homeless as well, Tex. I think a lot of people's actually been homeless, but I think a lot of people are homeless that are good people, but they just like basically live with a friend or something, or they jump from place to place periodically. That's what I used to do. And then I used to live under a bridge years ago. I lived there for about 30 days. And I had no job, nothing. It's been a long time ago. So I came up from humble beginnings. And so, like, I'm thankful for everything, good and bad. Troy said he's being homeless myself is not an easy existence. No, it is not an easy existence. I agree. That is mentally tough. That's very mentally challenging. I mean, you have to, you know, if you ain't homeless, you can experience it. Like, you know, like, hey, I don't have to do this. If you got the finances where you can just like go be homeless for a week, you know, and do it with like no money at all. And hopefully you don't get caught taking a can of beef raviolis. But you know, I mean, yeah, if you got the money, just experience it, get it experience. You know, that's mentally challenging. If you're mentally tough and you think you are and you've never been homeless, go try it. That'll tell you. But if you are homeless, if anybody is sitting on a bench right now homeless, think about, if you got a driver's license, think about getting your CDL. You can be homeless in a truck. You got a bed back there. You just drive all day, and jump back there and go to sleep. Just keep you protected from the elements. That's what a lot of homeless people should do if they can get a driver's license and then go get their CDL. I mean, you just sit here and shift gears and hold the steering wheel and watch traffic. That's what I would do if I was homeless today with no family or nothing. I'd go get my CDL. When I was homeless years ago, that's what I would say. I'd look at trucks and like, man, if I was only in that truck. But I didn't get my CDL for many years later. Homeless, most interesting times you had. Yeah, I mean, being homeless is like almost like being in a truck. It's very similar, except that you're kind of protected from the elements because you're alone and all you have is your thoughts. And it's mentally challenging. You know, you're just alone all day. And if you don't have a circle of friends to call all the time, you know, you're going to feel the pressure. But, you know, it's... So that's another thing. Instead of having to be homeless, go drive a truck. Be on your own. It's the equivalent. You have nothing but your thoughts, and you can think pretty far. You can think in depth. It'll either make you smarter or it'll make you go insane. That's why a lot of people quit their first year. It's very challenging. But for me, it was pretty easy because I've experienced the tough side of life. I've spent nights in jail, you know. Like Greg Allman said, I ain't no angel. I'm no stranger to the rain. Get home some selfies. I'm no stranger to the rain. I fought with the devil, got down on his level, but I never gave in, so gave up on me. I'm no stranger to the rain. Popo spotted going eastbound. He ain't too concerned with us because we're doing the speed limit. I need to get some shirts made. Open up my little shop on my channel. Open my shop up on my channel. But I don't know which, they got like a thing to choose from. But then I want to make my own merchandise, man. I looked into some stuff this weekend, but only briefly. Look, there's a car wiped out. Look at it there. Looked like it hit the railing. Yeah, buddy. They wasn't having no fun. They sure ain't today either. The car's in a ditch. He coming into Louisville. Anybody ever been to Louisville? Oh, hey Sam, ain't going nowhere. That was just a, I was going to use a different title for the video, but I was like, because I was going to put 6 more weeks of winter, but then I was like, you know what, this is trucking, so we're going to do 6 more weeks of trucking because the groundhog saw a shadow in Pennsylvania, I think this morning. Was it this morning? And so 6 more weeks of winter, which, you know, that's all just a myth, just a little show, but it's something fun we've done for a long time now. I think the Canadians do something similar, don't they? But it ain't a groundhog. And I was talking to my wife this morning. She said that she's like, yeah, a long time ago I was there for one of those Groundhog Days events things. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. She said around the town they got statues of groundhogs all over the place in like different colors or something. She said, and I don't think I've ever been there, so I don't remember seeing statues of groundhogs. Yeah, I should have thought of that, yeah. Yeah. You know, it's amazing, like, you know, how the title can be 6 more weeks of trucking, and, you know, the brain doesn't think, like, you know, what if it could have been Groundhog's Day, where the groundhog saw a shadow in 6 more weeks of winter. You know, it's something so simple, the brain can't figure it out until somebody tells you, you know. Truck, what you doing, truck? That trailer don't look like 13.6. Samson, because if you quit, I quit. One day we will be quitting. I don't know when. Hopefully soon. Hopefully something works out for me. But we'd still be on the road. We just wouldn't be trucking. My goodness, Toyota. Who owns a Toyota? Anybody own a Toyota? Like a new Toyota? I know the Toyotas, at least the old ones. My gosh. You're going way under the speed limit, car. Way under. Goodness gracious. You're going 55, you're going 40. Right on the shoulder. Yeah, you got the same thing. So you got a groundhog up in Canada. I knew the Canadians done something. I didn't know it was a groundhog though. So when do the Canadians do the groundhog thing, or have they already done it? Watch out. That ice on his container will fly up and come right through the windshield. I cannot pass this truck for nothing. Hog Slayer said, ride a cowgirl. Oh, man, goodness gracious. Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses. Skydiving. Why do you say skydiving? You just is it bulls more fearful, or it seems like most people are saying skydiving. If I'm mistaken, that if the piece of ice flies off of any vehicle or a truck and it comes through your windshield, that is that guy's fault. Which, I could be wrong, but I think that's the way it goes. But I also kind of don't agree with it, because, like, how in the world are you supposed to get up there and sweep off the top of a trailer? I understand your car, that'd be a lot easier. You know, it's not like anybody's got extension ladders right on hand in a truck, you know. So what do you do? I ain't gonna pass this guy now. We in Indiana. And Indiana likes to sit through here. So I bet we see one. I'll be surprised if we don't. As you come from Kentucky, speed limit's 70 miles an hour. You get over here in Indiana, it drops down to 55. You can eat the bull. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we can skydive, come to the ground, and have a plate of some fillets or a big old T-bone or a tomahawk ribeye, and we could eat some steak. I actually had some steak Saturday night. We had dinner. What did we have? Oh yeah, we had hot dogs, chili dogs, and it was like I was wanting steak, so I ate the hot dogs, and a few hours later I took some fillets and I prepped them and took them out, and prepped them and let them set out for about 2 hours. They still weren't room temperature yet, but I was like, hey, you know what, it's getting late. It's like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm in the kitchen cooking fillets. Rather keep my feet on the ground. Yeah, me too, Hog. Lyndon's just try to keep my momentum up, but we ain't following too close now. You know, we're humans, we make mistakes, brother. We make mistakes. Don't judge me too bad. But sometimes you can't prevent it. And that's a fact. Bulls are trained to play with you a bit rough. Oh yeah, but man can't fly. No matter how much we want to. Yeah, that's true. See, Hog Slayer said I'd ride my airboat instead. You got an airboat down there in Louisiana? I've always wanted to ride one of them airboats. When I move back to Florida, I'm going to. I'm gonna go down there to the Everglades. We're gonna go ride us an airboat. We're gonna catch some crocodiles, or I mean alligators. Oh, Florida, all right. Yeah, Florida. That's where I live at right now. But I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to be here no more in Tennessee. You'll have the time of your life. You think so? You're going to have me a big old Dave's double. Sam's going to have a big old Dave's double. Sam, I had a Dave's double. Was that last week? Last week and the week before. Every time I go to Wendy's, I get me a Dave's double. I can't help it. It's like I don't. Which y'all know I don't like eating fast food anyway. You know, I starve most of the time by choice. By choice. So where you at down there, Hog? Down there in Florida. You ain't gonna give your exact town location, but like something close to you. You know, like Lakeland, or just curious. So if when I do move back down there, maybe I can meet up with you and we can go ride your airboat and go catch some alligators. I like alligator meat, man. If y'all ain't never tried alligator meat, you gotta try it, I'm telling you. It's really good, I like it. Every time I go down to Louisiana, or used to, every time I go down to Louisiana and Texas, I'd always find a restaurant, and if they had alligator, that's what I'd eat. South of Tampa, okay, gotcha. Yeah, see, where I'll be moving to is around Tampa. East of Tampa, around the Tampa area. And in Valrico. You know what? We didn't spot one in all that mess back there, surprisingly. We'll let this guy have it, because Indiana's sneaky. Skydiving, I did it on my 50th birthday and loved it. Really? You done it on your 50th birthday? I can't imagine being 50 and going skydiving. Man, kudos to you, my friend. That's impressive through my eyes. This man went skydiving at the age of 50, so if he can do it, any of us can. But I think I'd still ride a bull and go skydiving. Ever do any hunting? Yeah, I used to. Not so much these days because I just ain't got time. Trucking, like, take your life away. It's amazing. Steve Smith said skydiving. All right. And everybody said skydiving. I think only like 3 people said bulls. I thought that was a big old mountain lion cat right there on the shoulder. It was a deer. New York snow was bad, Carol. I ain't seen nothing about it in New York. But yeah, I don't really watch TV, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, I mean, Buffalo, I mean, it's bad every winter in Buffalo. I like New York, the state of New York. I actually like it. It's a beautiful state, it is. But when you say New York, people, you know, automatically think of New York City, which, you know, it makes sense. You know, you think of New York, you think of New York, New York. But New York is a pretty state, though. It really is. Alligator meat. I can't really describe what alligator meat is like. I mean, it's the texture's a little different. You know, it is an alligator, and it just tastes good. It's just, you know, because they're carnivores, you know, so I think naturally, you know, alligator, before I even ate it, it's like, well, it's got to be good. You know, it's a carnivore. It just eats meat. So it's got to be pretty good. Yeah, I don't think it'd be better than steak. But, like, I'm a carnivore, so I put, like, steak as my #1 and probably alligator my #2. And then chicken. I eat a lot of chicken and beef. I don't eat turkey that much simply because I don't really like turkey, but I'll eat it because, you know, I know it's good for you. But I rarely eat it because it's got that natural thing in it where it makes you feel sleepy. But it's good for protein. They got it at your Flying Fish restaurant and wonder about it. Oh, Mimi, you should absolutely try it as long as it's authentic, real alligator meat, because they do have like I wouldn't say imitation, but it's like imitation. Some you know, like how you get crab meat at the grocery store and say imitation crab. So just ask, like, is it real alligator? You should try it. If you go out to eat this week, go down there and get you some alligator. I like it. I think you will too. I think it's called tea. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of chicken, David, but in a way it don't. I really like it. I think you would too. Alligator, pretty good. I don't know what the season is for hunting alligator. I'd like to get me some elk, because I ain't never tried elk. And I've wanted to for a long time. And I'd like to find me you know, like every year find something where I can have somebody like go hunt me an elk, so I ain't gotta do it. I got a friend of mine in Ohio. He goes out to Colorado every year and goes and hunts elk. I don't think he's got one yet. I think he's waiting on that perfect one. So he goes every year, but he ain't dropped an elk yet. Like, man, P.O. mark. But yeah, Mimi, yeah, go get you some alligator to sometime this week. I do believe you will like it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to, when I go to, I'm gonna meet up with was that Dave that was in here a minute ago? Dave down at Slayer, whatever, Hog Slayer. Yeah, I'm gonna try, when I move back to Florida, I'm gonna try to meet up with him, see if they do alligator hunting down there. Go hunt us some alligator. I like to stock the freezer full of deer, elk, and alligator, and chicken. You gotta have the chicken. It does not matter how much meat you gotta have chicken. Look at that a-hole passing you, guys on the passing lane. Yeah. Yeah, Indiana's gonna get him. I think I see Indiana right over there. Can't tell. No, I don't think it is. Yeah, we are already doing the speed limit, David, if you know what I mean. I mean, I'll be honest with you, we're doing 4 over the speed limit. We gotta keep an eye out for Indiana because they're real sneaky through here. Real sneaky. In Indiana, at least in big trucks, they do not allow you to do 5 over. Found that out one day. That's when I was living in Indiana. They got me up there on 69, about 2 miles from my exit to the house. And I didn't even see him, man. He was behind me. I didn't even know it. You know, so I put the hammer down. Didn't know it. Indiana was trailing me there. He got me. But then, so okay, well, he saw my license. So, okay, he's almost home, so he cut me a break. I guess he figured it out in his head, like, hey, he's almost home. I see why he's putting the hammer down. But I think Indiana has good police officers, though. They're pretty respectful and professional. At least the state police. I've only messed with the state police in Indiana. They're very professional and reasonable with you. So I have to give the state of Indiana that. So they got a good state police. I don't know really about their counties and their cities. I've only had one run-in with some county police one night. There's a whole bunch of them. But I don't think I can say that stuff on YouTube. That was a wild night, yo. I was about 25, 26 years old when that went down. Manhattan used the big plows in a mountain to clean up. Brooklyn, they use just the plows to push the snow on the corners. You know, they just make big old mountains of snow, don't they? I was in Manhattan one day. I was walking down through Manhattan on my way to the Twin Towers Memorial. And I saw this mountain of trash. And you'd see mountains trash, you know, in New York City. You know, it's common. But I mean, I think it was like 3 stories high, and it was big old mountain of trash. And I just, for some reason, something, you know, my conscience said, hey Gunner, walk over there and kick that trash, that mountain of trash. And I was, you know, I was young at the time. And so I walked over, and a friend of mine was with me, and I kicked that mountain of trash. And when I did, these big, humongous rats scurried every which direction. I was like, wow, I wish I wouldn't have done that, because the rats went everywhere. Big old rats. Rats as big as dogs. I mean, these rats a cat runs from. You gotta have a mountain lion to catch these rats. I mean, they were eating good. You can see that. I mean, you can eat them suckers, man, if you were starving. I'd say some New Yorkers do. They probably catch them big old rats and they'll cook them. I wouldn't doubt it. I'd say some of them do. People that actually have to. I'd only eat a rat if I absolutely had to. And I'd make sure I cooked it thoroughly. But I don't think I've ever ate rat, I don't believe. Don't know. You never know. When you go out to eat anywhere, you never know what you eat. I mean, anymore, you kind of don't even know what you're eating in your house. You go to the grocery store and buy it, you know, well, I just hope it's meat, you know. I saw a video, Carol, a couple days ago. I don't know where it was at. I think it was in Canada. They had I don't remember what you call it, that piece of machinery, like construction machinery. And so if there was a car on the shoulder, it might have been in New York, they could lift up the right side of it and still plow the road and go over the car and set it back down. I thought that was so cool. Greg said skydive. Man, everybody said skydive. Okay, Greg, is that because the fear of riding a bull, or the fear of possibly breaking an arm or something, or getting trampled, or, you know, or maybe the experience of skydiving would last longer, the adrenaline from that? It could be a multitude of things. Smitty said 100. Hey, gamer. Almost good afternoon to you. Well, I think it's afternoon on the East Coast. We in Central Time, I think. Oh yeah, keep on rolling. Hot in here again. I'm going to have to crack this window. Hope y'all don't mind the wind. Hopefully it ain't too loud. I just cracked it a little bit. It's hot in here. I turned the heat off, my windows fogged up. I'm no angel. Greg Allman said, I'm no angel. I'm no stranger to the street. I want to come home. It's been so long since I've been away. Don't kick up that salt, didn't you? Losing my momentum, I gotta slow down, get too close to him. Don't want to follow too close. He blows out a tire, could bust the windshield, which our windshield's already busted. But it ain't busted, it's cracked. But no, might be illegal to have a cracked windshield, but the world doesn't care. The world doesn't care that you're sick. Your bills don't care. The electric company doesn't care. Still gotta get up and go to work. Still gotta work. This is the working man's PhD right here. Working man's PhD. Y'all see that volcano erupted down in is it Venezuela? I think it was Venezuela. It was like the perfect eruption. It was kind of beautiful. I've always wanted to see a volcano erupt with my own eyes, like in person. It'd be so cool. Maybe one day I'll go to Hawaii and watch those lava rivers flow into the ocean. That'd be cool too. My brother went to Hawaii. He brought me back a baseball that says Pearl Harbor on it. I was like, well, thanks, man. Thanks for bringing me back a souvenir from Hawaii. Hi, Jer313. How you doing today, brother? Working hard or hardly working. Me in this together. Everybody's doing their part. I'm doing mine. Oh, is that a Smokey Bear? I don't think so. Could be. Not trying to make no friends with the Smokey Bears. At least not while we're both on duty. Cool off here pretty good. this hot shot driver. That's a Jeep over there. Got that Jeep Grand Cherokee. One of my good friends had a Grand Cherokee. It was an older one though. Even for back in the day, it was old. So one day we got this idea, because he was originally from Michigan. So one day, me and a few other friends, we all jumped in his Grand Cherokee, and we took a trip up to Michigan. Now, I mean, this thing was road battled hard, you know. This Jeep, it survived everything. And, well, it even survived. There was a big hole in the floor. So when we drive down the road, you'd be back there in the back seat, you'd stare and look at the floor, look at the road. But it caught on fire on our way back. We were rolling down the interstate on fire. Hey, thanks, bro. Have a safe day as well, brother. Up in Iowa, just past I-35. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I ain't been up through there in a minute. I like going to that pilot up there. I think it's on I-35 in Iowa. I think past the chicken house on the left. I've got a Taco Bell in there. I used to stop in there all the time, because back when that Taco Bell stopped making the quesadillas. I like the quesadillas, so I'd go in there and they'd make me one. Didn't even have it on the menu no more. Like, hey, can you make me one? Sometimes the place, they'll still make it. And sometimes they make them good, sometimes they make them terrible. Like they don't even know what goes on it. They'll have Fritos on it. Like, the Fritos don't go on quesadillas. What's the matter with y'all? I like Iowa though. I've met a lot of great people in Iowa. Really good folks up there in Iowa. At least from my experience, I ain't never met a bad person. They remind me of the Canadians. Just constantly nice. Good folks. No, I don't know what Iowa stands for. Idiots out walking around. Okay, yeah. I think I've heard that before. Yeah, especially in Des Moines. That's something about, you know, Des Moines is a small city, but people cannot drive there. That's one thing that's the very first thing I noticed. Every time I've been to Des Moines, people can't drive. But outside of the city, you know, good folks. I stayed I used to, when I had to go to Iowa, I'd stay in the, back before I was driving trucks, I'd stay at the Holiday Inn right there in Des Moines, right off the interstate. It's a pretty nice Holiday Inn too. They take good care of it. Most Holiday Inns are standard, but basically, you know, pretty standard. Absolutely. See, Comcast knows. I'll tell the truth. They cannot drive. At least in Des Moines, they can't. I actually miss Iowa, man. It's good people up there. I used to go up there all the time. I actually think about all those people I met all the time. there in Iowa. I've been meaning to look on the map and find that place I would go to all the time in Iowa, so I could get on here and tell y'all. Because Bill, there's a guy named Bill in the on the channel, and he lives in Iowa, and I just cannot remember where he said he lived at. Oh, I think somewhere near, close to Omaha. And if I ain't mistaken, where I would go to was close to Omaha, like an hour away. Claridia or something. Claridia, Iowa. I don't remember the name of it. Little small place, man. Be back later, brother. Thanks again. Yeah, bro. Have a good day, man. Can you make more money from New York to California? Or more local runs? I think a lot of that depends on how you're making that run. If you're team driving to California and back, depends on what company you're working for, depends on what type of freight you're hauling, depends on your experience. But up in New England, local drivers, you know, tend to make more money because, you know, economically in New York City and all that up through there, it's way more expensive to live than it is in, you know, like where I'm from, basically. So they have to make more, and they're local drivers for the same company. You know, like for an example, we'll use Western Express for an example. So like Western Express has local drivers up in New York City, and they have their drivers that are over the road, OTR, over the road. And their OTR drivers can go up into New York City, and they won't make the same amount of money as those drivers driving local. But it only makes sense. I mean, you know, I saw like a 500 square foot, 1-bedroom apartment in New York City. Cost $920,000. I was like, wow, 500 square foot, $920,000. It's amazing. So like, you got to make more money. But I would think you'd probably make more money driving local up in that area, unless you're team driving to California and back. You might make more money from driving local. You could drive team driving from New York to California, you'd be back by the weekend. Team drivers make pretty good money. That depends on the company. You know, you can make money in trucking, but you got to find it. It's like there's a freight recession, but it's recession proof. You ain't got to worry about losing your job unless you make a big mistake. You ain't gonna lose your job, and if you do, you get fired. That's why you know, do what you want in trucking. You know, if you get fired, it ain't no big deal. You have a job. If I got fired today, I'd be in a new truck, different company tomorrow. That's the good thing about trucking. You know, they come to you and say, Bruce, you're fired. Well, okay, just whoop-de-doo all day. Thanks for firing me. But, you know, it's hard to get fired in trucking. It really is. Because it's very hard to replace a driver, and especially a really good one. Because there's a lot of guys out there that can't truck like I truck. So they can fire you, and that truck might sit on a yard for a month or two. said skydive. Lawrence, everybody said skydive. There's only like 2 or 3 people said ride a bull. And then there's like 2 people that said they had rode a bull. Skydiving, Rocky Mountain climbing, with 2.7 seconds on a 4-day Fu Manchu. Tracker said skydiving, alright. And everybody is saying skydiving. I still think I'd rather ride a bull. I think the adrenaline rush from that would be way more exciting. I mean, maybe both are just as dangerous. I don't know. Maybe the adrenaline is about similar as well. I don't know. I've not done either one. Race. Why do you want to race, man? I don't know why some of these drivers want to race these tractor trailers. They can't run with me anyway. Why? I guess they just want to see how fast that truck goes. How fast your trucks go. It's an old song back in the day about that. About how fast your trucks go. Talk about girls and how fast their trucks go. I guess all the old timers back in the day, they're probably the reason why it's so regulated now. Being wild out there driving in trucks. Going 80 mile an hour down a mountain or something. One broke down right here. Kroger's broke down. See, there's your food right there. Look at it. There's Kroger. Got all your food right there. Broke down. Oh, they brought him a new truck. Wow. Well, never mind. He'll be back on the road shortly. He was cranking up his landing gear. Tater land. I've hauled loads of taters, buddy. They're heavy. They just have them back here. They just put them on a conveyor belt and they feed it in there, and they just leave them just sitting on the trailer floor. It's, they don't have them in nothing. I'd hate to be the guy to unload them taters in them trailers. I wonder how they do that. Probably by hand. Have some scooper. They go in there and scoop it up. I don't know. Does anybody know how they unload taters? Funny race, JB Hunt Swift race. Yeah, we passed JB Hunt Swift like forever ago. Ride a bull, not jumping out of a perfectly good airplane, Robert said. All right. We got a bull rider in the house. Yeah, the skydivers are saying skydiving. Like, that's the majority of what everybody's saying is skydiving. There's been like 4 people now say ride a bull. If you include myself, maybe 5. One bedroom is $3,000 a month. Oh yeah, I know it. In New York. That seems pretty cheap for New York though. 3,000. I was expecting like, well, I guess it depends on where. Because I mean, 3,000 is like rent in Florida. Rent's expensive in Florida. Rent's expensive everywhere except the Midwest. Like Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, you can find rent for an affordable, reasonable price, although it is increasing. So it's a stable market. So if you're in real estate, which it's the Midwest states like Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, they're kind of slow, especially Illinois and Ohio, Indiana. So they're kind of slow. So if you're in real estate and you want to buy a house, you can find one in Indiana and Illinois for a pretty good price, 40, 50,000, 60, 70,000. But you know, you'll rent it out for about, it really depends, but you know, about the average rent $600-700 a month in Indiana, depending on where. You know, there was when I was living in Indiana, just the county north of me, there was a house that my sister was renting, and the landlord was selling the house. And I don't remember what her rent was. I mean, it was a nice house too. It was 2 stories. I can't remember how many bedrooms. Four bedroom, 2 bath, big kitchen, big living room. Had a big garage and all kind of shed and everything. He only wanted $100,000 for it, but it was in like a very small town. You know, there's probably 30 people in this town, and so if you were to buy it, it'd probably be hard to rent it because there's nothing there, like nothing. They had to drive. You got to drive from there like 20 minutes into town, 25 minutes. I should have bought that place I was renting for $90,000. That's one regret that I have, is I did not buy that house. And I regret not buying it. I should have bought it. But, oh well, maybe I'll have another opportunity to buy something like that again later on down the road. But right now, and like President Trump ain't doing anything to help us, you know, people like you and I, in order to buy a home, help the rent decrease. He ain't doing nothing. Biden didn't do nothing. Trump didn't do nothing to help the housing crisis. Hello from North Carolina. Hey, North Carolina. Yeah, New Yorkers are moving out to different cities or are homeless, yeah. Yeah, as long as they can take their jobs with them and still make the same income. But, you know, a lot of them are moving to Tennessee. Like, I think Tennessee, that's my home state and where I currently reside. I think that's where the #1 state that people are moving to right now is Tennessee. And I believe it. I can't verify that 100%, but that's just because that's what I heard someone say a week or 2 ago. But so I've been meaning to look into it, but I haven't. But I wouldn't doubt it. Trump's buying the dip. Yeah, you gotta watch the housing market right now. It's been doing some weird stuff in the past 6 years. I've been watching it very carefully, except about the past year and a half. I've not been watching it too much. Because like the housing market is not like any other market. It is real slow. I mean, there is eventually going to be a crash. Oh yeah, and when Biden was president, this is what helped the housing market. is he printed a bunch of money and he dumped it into the real estate market. And that's also what caused, you know, the instead of the crash happening, it's propped it up. And it's still propped up. Hey, Lincoln. Oh, man. It's South Carolina, baby. Yeah, I like South North Carolina. Oh, boy, you better move over to the right. We're all behind you. Move your tail over. I do. I get in the right lane all the time, brother. I'm in the right lane, so I gotta pass somebody. I'll pass them, get right back in the right lane. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's how I do it. That's how I does it. We have to drive like 40 miles to Walmart. Yeah. That's crazy, Kevin. What state you in, Kevin? Trump's buying the dip. It's called market. What buying the dip in what though, Duke? Based on 2025, 2026 data. Yeah, Texas, Florida, North Carolina, and Tennessee. Yeah, I'm aware that Tennessee is one because, you know, it's my home state. That's where I live at now. And I was aware Texas and Florida was other ones, but I wasn't aware of North Carolina. So that one was new. And people are moving to Florida. What they do is like people that ain't from Florida, they'll move to Florida and think, oh, well, this is like, I'll live here and it's like vacation the entire time I live here. No, it's not like that. And so a lot of people are moving to Florida and finding out like, okay, the geopolitics is not what they like, and they'll move right back out. It's like, you can't live your life based totally on politics, you know. That just sounds miserable to me. If every decision I made was based on politics, I think I'd be a miserable person. No wonder those politicians age so fast. It's stressful as hell, I bet. And South Carolina, dude. Okay, got you, dude. Ashraf Abu Dhabi. I think that's hello in Indian. Dude said, appreciate you. Appreciate you, dude. What are you doing? I am trucking. It's 6 more weeks of winter, so it's 6 more weeks of trucking. Clean Congress out. They are crooked. I would say probably 95% of politicians in D.C. are crooked. Because it seems like the ones that ain't, they get no attention. You know, because, I mean, who was that? I can't remember who said that. Something, you can't get rich in politics unless you're a crook. I mean, it's from both sides, Democrats and Republicans. Like Dan Crenshaw, he's a conservative. And somehow he got rich. Insider trading? Question mark? I don't know. But, you know, it's, you know, there should be term limits and, you know, there shouldn't, I think if you're in Congress and the Senate and all that, I don't think they should even own stock unless they've already owned it before they got into politics or something. I don't know. I mean, maybe they should. I don't really know. But like that insider trading, that's illegal. You know, that's a lot of things I can't stand about our country. Is there's a lot of corruption, insider trading. You know, they get into politics and all of a sudden, from $160,000 salary, they're worth $10 million like overnight. Like what? If I were to do that, they'd imprison me. of double standards in this country. A lot of double standards, a lot of corruption. Yeah, everybody's wanting term limits for years. I know, yeah, they takes a lot, like Illinois. Yeah, they'll never get it because it's that crooked, you know, it's corrupted. But also, I think term limits would make things a little bit more complicated as well. I don't know. I think maybe it's something they should maybe experiment. I mean, there'd be so much change all the time. Maybe, you know, I mean, there's only so much you can do. I don't know. Maybe there should be term limits, 10 years or something. Every decade. Worth $500 million, you know? That's how that Elon Omar woman got rich. You know, insider trading. You can get rich on any type of salary if you know what you're doing. But like, how do they do it? Like, seemingly overnight. Oh, she's a bartender. Now all of a sudden she's worth 5-10 million. Like, what? This country will never get out of that. No, it never will. Unless, but you know, our debt's what keeps it really afloat anyway. The only time in history that we had no debt was, who was it? Was it Thomas Jefferson? Thomas Jefferson that paid the deficit. That was the only time. Somebody might be able to refresh my memory on who that was exactly. But if you understand how like debt and money works, you know, that it works pretty good, you know. You know, it's with debt you can't tax it. You don't pay taxes on debt. So that's how the rich, like, they buy things without having any money. That's how they do it. They borrow money. So you can do it as well. All you gotta do is borrow money. Because borrowed money can't be taxed. Debt. Andrew Jackson. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's who it was. Thank you, Duke. I was thinking I was wrong. I was like, man, that doesn't sound right. But yeah, hopefully I can use my own knowledge on how to do all that eventually. You know, because if you earn an income, you will forever pay taxes. Forever. For the rest of your days, if you earn money, you'll pay taxes on that money. If you can ever figure out how to have money without working for it, you won't pay taxes. Or you'll pay very little. That's how the rich do it. Now everybody's wondering, well, they need to pay their fair share. Well, here's the deal. They will never pay a fair share because they don't earn a salary. And people don't understand this. So how are you, you know, they're only worth, $10 billion because it's on paper. It's what they're worth. It ain't what they got, but it's what they're worth. And if they need money, say like Elon Musk, for example, he has Tesla and SpaceX and all this stuff. Well, when he bought, this is a perfect example. So when he bought X, which is formerly known as Twitter, you know, he has the majority shares in Tesla, and he's got other rich friends and stuff. So what he had done to acquire, I can't remember what he paid for it. What was it? $2 billion or something? And he went to the bank, or a couple of different banks, and he borrowed from his Tesla stock. So he didn't pay taxes on none of it because it was debt, it was borrowed money. And that's how he acquired Twitter, or what was formerly known as Twitter. That's how long it's been since Screw and Andrew Jackson. So anytime he needs money, he just calls a rich friend, or he just goes to the bank and he's like, well, I have these Tesla stock, I need $10 million, and he'll get $10 million and never pay a dime in taxes. That's how you do it. He bought Twitter. Oh yeah, I agree with you, dude. Yeah, the middle class, gets beat down, but it's all intentional, Like, where was that at the World Economic Forum where they're saying, I think it was that, saying, maybe it was a Rockefeller or something. Someone would say by 2030, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Well, they mean that. And so that's why everything's going to be a renter's nation. That's why they're trying, prices will be so high, you will never own it. Like they got I think there's a 50-year mortgage now. Brand new. 50-year mortgage? Are you freaking kidding me? So if you buy a house at 20, you'll have it paid off at 70. They're turning it into a renter's nation. It's going to be, you're going to own nothing and you will be happy. Your cars are so expensive, you'll never own it. It'll break down, you'll have to trade it in for something else before you own it. You'll never own it. But in order to do this, which they're currently working on it, AI and all that, making things autonomous, like Amazon recently laid off 40,000 people. That's not because the economy's bad, which the economy isn't too bad. I mean, but they all parties lie to us, like, oh, inflation's at 0%. Biden administration done it. The Trump administration done it. There is no inflation. So yeah, there is. I can clearly tell prices have went up in states when people's incomes went up very little. It wasn't enough to combat inflation. So people's always, there's so much to talk about. I've lost track of what I was previously saying. Do I think the economy is getting better or worse? I couldn't really give an honest answer on that, Kevin, simply because I haven't looked at, data in a minute, because I study economics and, a bunch of different stuff. I study economics, law, psychology. Just this is hobbies I have, and I don't think it's doing good, but I don't think it's doing bad either. I think it's kind of like at a standstill right now, stalemate. When it's like, we don't know if it's going to, things are going to like hyperinflation, but there's definitely not no de-inflation. I've not seen it. You hear the government say it doesn't matter who's in office. You hear both, like I said, you heard the Biden administration say it, and you hear the Trump administration say it. They both say the same thing. Oh, no inflation. Yeah, they might be right now. This is stalemate. Inflation kind of stopped right now, but everything's still high, and your incomes never outpace inflation. Never does. But Amazon, yeah, that's what I was saying. Early spring. Yeah, early spring. I believe the groundhog saw a shadow, so we got 6 more weeks of winter. But anyway, that's like Amazon. Amazon didn't lay off 40,000 people because the economy was bad. Amazon laid off 40,000 people because of artificial intelligence can replace their job titles. They don't need them no more. AI can do it. I remember, I think it was about 10 years ago when I started seeing these self-checkout things, and I was at a Walmart somewhere, and I told this girl, I was like, yeah, that right there is going to take your job one day. And this is back when this stuff first started happening, and I guess they just had a meeting or something, and she was like, oh, no, it's actually creating jobs. And I'm like, honey, no, anytime something that is not human can do your job for you, it's going to cut you out. That's common sense. That's like when they have self-autonomous trucks that can drive themselves. It's going to cut the driver out. So you should teach your children the future. So it's your responsibility to try and see the future of what direction your kids need to go. AI probably take the jobs of lawyers one day. It has all the knowledge, like more than any human has, and they can defend the case against the state at any time. Like, what do you need a lawyer for? Just have, whatever best intelligence they got, artificial intelligence they have. Hey, I'm back. Told baby, happy Monday to you, Gunner. Thanks, man. Hello. Happy Monday to you, my British friend. On the road again. That's like fast food restaurants with these kiosk machines. Right. And you can't, I've seen it at a fast food restaurant where there'll be people, like I'm one of them. Like a lot of times I will not do it. I won't use it. And I was at a Pilot truck stop in Neoda, Tennessee. And this guy, he was older than me. He's old school, and he went to check out. There was a girl standing there, and she goes, "No, you got to use one of these." And I'm thinking, well, like you can just check him out right where you're at. Like what's the big deal here? Made that guy go use one, showed him how to do it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like that's technically free labor, because 15 years ago, you go check out somewhere and they do it for you. They got paid to bag it for you. That's free. You're willingly being a free slave to that corporation. Self-checkout is a joke. Yeah, you're willingly, anytime you self-checkout, you're being a free slave to that corporation. If you use self-checkout, they should at least give you a 25% discount. That was somebody's job. You can still go to Walmart and go to someone and check them. They check you out. They'll bag it for you. So why are you willingly being, giving them free labor? To check yourself out, scan every item, bag it all. You know, that's work. Anytime, that's work. It's always been work. You got hired to do that back in 1995. Oh, you're going to bag groceries. It was a job. You're being a willingly free slave to Walmart or Kroger or Food City. This is Interstate 64. Because, you know, you go to self-checkout Walmart, they're not going to pay you to scan all those items and bag it yourself. But that woman or that dude over there, you know, scanning all your items and bagging them, you know, he's getting paid to do it. Why ain't they paying you to scan and bag your own groceries? Food Line, Meijer, Publix. This is one. Iowa's got a grocery store. You know, well, you know, obviously, but I can't remember the name of it. They got a different one. You know, like how, you know, something like Florida's got Publix, Michigan's got Meijer. You know, although they are in different states, but I think they originate from those states. And Iowa's got one. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, I mean, you're willingly being a free slave to those corporations, those stores, anytime you self-check out. And that's facts. I haven't heard anybody else say that, you know. So maybe, you know, somebody out there is probably like, well, what's the big deal with me scanning a bag of my groceries? Well, first thing is, they've always hired people to do that, so they got paid to do it. Now you're doing it for free. You're being a free slave. That gives them more profit. They got to pay someone, and you're doing it willingly for free. That's a legit J-O-B. Publix Town Pump. Oh, is that what they call it where you're at, Sam? Town Pump? Just like, you know, they used to have people would pump your gas and clean your windshield, check your oil. People got paid to do that. I mean, this all happened, you know, this is back in the 90s and early 2000s. I still remember that, but I think Oregon, they have to still. No, you didn't tell me what you got for your birthday. Publix has been creeping into South Carolina and North Carolina for a while now. There's a lot of people that like Publix. I have not shopped at Publix enough to determine whether I like it or not. When I lived in Florida, I went to Publix 1 or 2 times. Once for a birthday party, I went and bought some balloons and got them inflated and stuff. And another time was me and my father-in-law had went to Publix to get, what were we doing? We were doing something, but he and I went to Publix and bought some stuff. We was having a party or something. New Jersey has no self-service gas. Oh yeah, New Jersey's one of them, yeah. Oregon and New Jersey, I think there's a law, and that's why they have it like that. There's something, you know, because the states that used to do it, like where I live in Tennessee, the neighboring counties and neighboring states is Kentucky and Virginia. But you would go over, everyone goes to Kentucky to buy groceries. But you would pull to the gas station, you know, back in the 90s and like the very first few years of the 2000s, and they pump your gas, clean your windshield. Now they don't do that no more. It's long gone. You got a Mini Cooper tow, baby. Is it at least a 5-speed? Publix is high, man. Is it? Yeah, that's been about 2 years ago, Duke. Last time I was in Publix. What state you in, Duke? You in Florida? I love my Mini. That's good, Toe Baby. All right, boys. Take care. Ride safe, brother. Oh, Duke, yeah. All right, brother. Take care, brother. You know, you would think with the advancement of technology that, you know, they have vehicles where it could like tell you when things is going to go wrong before it goes wrong. You know, like your alternator's about to go out, or you know something's going on and you know everybody's like, I can't quite figure out what's going on here. You know, when it can just basically tell you, oh, you got a fuel pump out, you know, throttle body's bad. You know, with the advancement of technology, why ain't that a thing yet? It's amazing. I guess they'll never have it like that. But I guess you ain't gotta worry about AI taking the mechanic job, so. And right now, I don't think you have to worry about artificial intelligence taking your trucking job. I think that'll be probably anywhere between, you know, at the very earliest, maybe 20 years, very latest, 100 years. Then everything will be driving itself. So I believe I'm safe for as long as I want to drive a truck. Ain't nothing gonna take my job. But the first places it'll take drivers' jobs is in those mega carriers. When they say, oh, our most valuable resource is up here in the driver's seat. Well, they're going to have a change of thought, a change of mind when they master this autonomous truck driving stuff. I bet, you know, their most valuable asset won't be in the driver's seat no more. Now I got to get my license. I need some work, but it's okay for now. Yeah, the government stays away, but you know, government has always had a problem with, you know, minding their own business. For some reason, it doesn't matter what government in the world, it just cannot mind its own business. I ain't taking your job. Depending on what you do, it may take longer, it may take another 200 years, but eventually. That's how, you know, that's how they'd have to be like a universal income. So, like, if AI is to basically take over everything, you know, let's say you woke up tomorrow and AI took your job. So they'd have to be like a universal thing. They'd have to pay everybody something. You know, fiat currency is what you still got to have to buy things. You know, what's everybody going to do when robots take all the jobs? You know, I mean, that's how they, you know, like how, you know, they say you're going to own nothing to be happy. Like, woke up tomorrow and AI took all of our jobs, they'd have to have some type of universal payment thing to pay everybody. And also, they're destroying the middle class. So if you did that, middle, hang on, I'm getting to be. make plans. I've got to possibly picking up a load of something or another in Missouri tomorrow morning. Gonna take it somewhere in Ohio. Then we're gonna go pick up 43,000 pounds of salt back at that Cleveland mine, salt mine. Kevin's gonna run for Congress. All right, Kevin. You just let me know, man. I'll try to help send the message to the state you're in. I like to support people. Well, I mean, I guess you gotta have some paid advertisement. I don't know. I mean, I'll help you run for Congress if you help me out. I'll help advertise you for nothing. What state are you in, Kevin, if you're still here, brother? Yeah, it makes me sick. Yeah. Makes me sick as well, Sam. You know, we're not supposed to pursue artificial intelligence. I think artificial intelligence is what it'll be weaponized, obviously, like humans weaponize everything. And I think, that's where, whether you're a believer in Jesus and God and the devil and demons and angels or not, it's, that stuff exists. And I think it's going to be, AI is going to be like demonic. That's where all the mark of the beast and all that come from, where you can't buy, sell, or trade without it. They're going to start listening to AI saying this and that. It's already surpassed the smartest human in the world. And a group of the smartest people. It's already beyond smarter than they are. So it's a matter of time where it rules our world. There's a copper back there behind me, you can tell. Oh yeah, absolutely. Creeping up behind us, buddy. Oh, another one, two of them. I don't even know where they came from. One day past my granddad's, my old man's, my life, worked down to my sons. Their reputable family driving truck company, man, getting stupid fast. Yeah, absolutely, Sam. I agree. It is getting stupid pretty fast. I'm amazed at how intelligent we are and how dumb we are. I'm really amazed by that. Yeah, Kevin, you run for Congress, man. Let us know. Find out what state you're in. Send the message. And I don't care if you're running for Congress as a Democrat or Republican, whatever. You know, if you're trying to do well, and you know there'll be people, you know. But Kevin, always remember, no matter what you do, people will love you and people will hate you. It does not matter. You'll have people love you and hate you. I'm amazed by that as well. I think, man, as a country, we can do better. You know, we can do better. But you can't depend on the government. They ain't gonna do nothing for you. I see blue lights. They hit the lights on someone. But I mean, the government ain't gonna do nothing for us. So we got to do it ourselves. But we, you know, we got to stand together. United we stand, divided we fall. That's all it is, you know. Seems like what they're trying to do. That's why they go so, you know, people go so far with stuff, man, so far. On the right, they go far on the left. I don't know how you can be so extreme. So I agree with some stuff on the right, and I agree with some stuff on the left, and I disagree with some on the right and the left, you know. But really, none of it really affects me directly. It mainly affects what I pay for products that I need, how much more I pay in taxes. That's really all it does. At least for me. I don't know what politics does for y'all's life, but all it does for me is it either puts a little bit more money in my pocket or it takes a little bit more out. That's all it does. Right now, you know, for a while now, it's been taking more. You gotta pay more for everything. You know, I spent just shy of $500 this weekend on groceries. Cash money, like cash, man. I wish I could find somebody that got some stickers that they'd sell. Like not even all of them, you know. Just give me $100 worth or something. Imagine my house. I got 5 kids in my house, and I'll tell you what, it costs a lot of money to feed them all week, especially when they ain't been in school. They called school today. They didn't go to school today. back landing. I reckon it was like 30 degrees yesterday in Miami. Craziness. Crazy. Smokey Bear got him one. That's that one that passes, I believe. He must have turned around right here or something. Sat on that ramp. Look at that cab over right there. Man, that's sweet. I want to drive a cab over. Hi, Letcher. How are you today? On this Monday, February 2nd. Spring's right around the corner. Unless you hear the groundhog say, 6 more weeks of winter. It's Letitia. Hey, the long stem rose. Happy Monday. 'Cause it's Monday. We got a job. So we got to truck it up. Thanks a lot. And I brought a jar of peanuts with me. And I just opened them and I've been munching on them. And now I can't stop eating. Can't stop eating. But if you ain't allergic to nuts, they're really good for you. You know, it's where you can get some of your essential amino acids. I'm in Indiana, heading to Kansas City from Knoxville, Tennessee. We're about to cross into Illinois here soon. I think I spotted one. Yep. I think. No. Look like one. Those Smokey Bears, gotta watch out for them. 2 of them snuck up right up on us. Thankfully they passed us though. Oh, you in Maine? I ain't been to Maine in a minute. It's been about 4 or 5 years since I've been to Maine. I bet it's cold in Maine today, ain't it? Well, you in North Carolina? Okay. I think I was in North Carolina last week. Yeah, I was. Over by Greensboro in Haw River. Haw River, North Carolina. Oh, you're in the mountains? Okay, you're over by Bryson City. I live in the mountains too, in East Tennessee. I'm a mountain boy myself. Okay, I'm in the mountains 2 hours from Tennessee. Okay, cool. We're practically neighbors. Is it cold over there in North Carolina this morning? Yeah, for now, yeah. Yeah, for now. Out there, spotted right in the middle. Spotted. Yeah, I should be moving to Florida, so back to Florida. Gotta warn these drivers, Smokey Bear sitting up there, Smokey Bear. FedEx, Smokey Bear sitting on you, looking at your front door, bud. I am so cold. I'm burning up now. I gotta turn the heat back off, crack the window. This heat, man, it'll run you out of here. You can't have it on low. Because you know, if it ain't on high, the windshield will fog up on me. So I gotta turn it off, crack the window, let it cool off in here because it gets too hot. Truck it up, born 1999. Was you born in 1999? Assuming. Hey, Germany. Hey, old straight truck. Hey, old truck passes on the sides. Sun's out now, that's good. Did y'all get a bunch of snow over there? We got about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. I think it snowed, I think all day Friday, yeah, about noon it started snowing, 11 o'clock. It snowed all day. It only got about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. up on them on the road. Illinois state line right up here. Across the Wabash River. Alright, now I'm gonna do the speed limit in the construction zone. Let's see if I catch anybody. Speed limit is 55. We are doing 55. Never had this much snow. I'll just be careful in it. You gotta have a little bit of know-how to drive in the snow. Because it don't take much and you'll be in the ditch. Doing the speed limit, we're catching this driver here. Yeah, we'll have to slow down. Can't even do the speed limit. Gotta go slower. Gotta go slower than the speed limit. 10 mile an hour or so slower. Crazy. Can't even do the speed limit. I had to drop a gear. You don't want to know more yet? All good for just a little bit. You know about the weeks when nobody's working, you ain't got nothing to do. If you ain't never went sledding, you should go do it before it goes away. It's a little bit fun. It just sucks having to walk back up the hill though. Well, we're in Illinois. Right around the corner or so. It's got to tolerate the winter for 2 or 3 more months. We get about the second week of April. As long as nothing happens, about the end of the second week of April, should be in the clear for summertime. It's spring. It takes me all day. About 10 hours and 55 minutes. Call for more snow. That ain't no good. I saw in my neck of the woods, I think Wednesday it's supposed to rain. It's like about 750 miles, something like that. So I guess we'll be taking a short break here soon. You'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back live again, I'd say, sometime later. I'm going to have to end it here shortly and charge up my battery. I didn't bring my long charger with me. I left it at the house. Thought I had it in my bag. Or I'll have to stop. I'll probably buy one this evening when I stop over in Missouri. Go ahead and top my tanks off before I crash out tonight. That way my diesel don't freeze up on me. I'm sure to be down in the single digits tonight in Kansas. Okay, Letcher, I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you back here. That'll be sometime this afternoon or early evening, late afternoon. But guys and girls, and a few teenagers that get to jump in the live, I appreciate y'all being here today. Appreciate you hitting that like button 64 times. You're probably seeing 65. I don't know how it does that, but it does. And I can charge my battery up. Hopefully we can be back here later on this afternoon. It's Tisha. Oh, Letitia. Okay, I'm just going off your name, Flowers. I'll try to remember that. 28 is much better than single digits for me. Oh yeah, absolutely. It warmed up, at the house, and I was like, oh man, it's like it was below freezing, but I was like, man, this feels a lot better than what it was. Sleep was 2 inches last Sunday, which is the snow later, very cold. Oh, man. Yeah, Danny, we'll be back here, I don't know, somewhere between, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock Central Time. But yeah, y'all just hang in there. Winter's almost over. At least we made it through January. So if we made it through January, we can make it through the end of winter now. We're almost there. Hang tight. Be strong. We're going to do it together. All right, Letitia, we'll see you. We'll see you soon. So we'll be back in a few hours, I'd say, guys and girls, or adolescents. As of for right now, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you back here in a little while. It's checkout time.